County area. We're going to take a few minutes tonight and memorialize and dedicate the stage here at Blackwater to the memory of John Hamilton Elliot. And we want to thank Joe Ferguson for providing this sign. And over the next few minutes, you're going to be hearing from people who knew our dedicatee this evening, talking about their memories, their musical memories, and their personal memories of a friend of theirs. And we're going to start, I suppose, first with Ray Benson.
Thank you. What we're doing, for everybody who's from this area, Walker County, most of you know who John Hamilton Elliot was. For those of you who are from away from here or just didn't happen to meet this man, this is what this dedication ceremony is about, and we're just going to give you just a few minutes of just short tidbits about John so you know who he was. He was a great lover of bluegrass, great friend of everybody here, and we hope you'll indulge us and take part in this ceremony. And I'm going to have a few people come up and just give you a thumbnail sketch, and believe me, it's a minute sketch of a great man, John Elliot.
Most of y'all know that I'm George Devers, the promoter here, and John was one of the dearest friends that I ever had, maybe the dearest friend. We knew each other almost 30 years and did a lot of things together, and he was just he was just bigger than life and bigger than a lot of his friends, and he loved bluegrass. He emceed at Brushy Creek. He played guitar and played mandolin. And we started bluegrassing and old country music in about probably the mid-60s. And we rode horses together, did a lot of things together. I often tell people that John Elliot was one of those few people that during life never had an enemy. There's not many of them like that, including myself, but he was one of those people. Thank you.
Well, I'm Linda, and I was fortunate enough to share 10 years of my life with John. I was married to him for 7 of those years. And in those 7 years, my house was filled with a lot of the people that are here and a lot of the musicians that are here. I was introduced to bluegrass music through John. Nearly every weekend we had bluegrass pickings at our house, which was a whole new thing to me. Friends that were as close as family. When John died, I don't know that I could have lived if I hadn't had all my friends. I'd like to thank George very much for doing this. It means a lot to our family. This is the land where we kept our horses and where we rode and where we all used to come and play music. And John loved Walker County, and he loved his hometown. He never wanted to live any place or go anyplace else. He thought everything that anybody ever needed was right here in Jasper County and Walker County. I mean in Jasper and in Walker County and in Alabama. So thanks very much, George.
For those that didn't know John Elliot, when he spoke, everyone listened. Okay? He was a very tall man, and when his voice, he would yell something, normally people would hear him and you're going to do what he says because he was so big. One Friday night at a picking and a horseback riding, a late night riding, they called it moonlight ride, he went to the door, he was out of beer. And he yelled, "Bring me a beer!" No answer. He yells again, "Bring me a beer!" No answer. But after about the 4th time, he got impatient. He was on a horse. The porch was about 4 feet high. He and the horse jumped up on the porch, opened the front door, rode to the kitchen, got a beer, and went back out the front door. That was John Elliot.
tell you a little bit about John. We've been friends, had been friends for many, many years. We met back in the 60s. When on a Friday or Saturday night, we used to gather underneath the bridge, Duncan Bridge on Smith Lake. We'd build a campfire, and John would bring out his old guitar, and we did our version of picking and grinning. We called it wailing, so that's pretty much what it sounds like. But he introduced us to the likes of Hank Williams and Jimmy Rogers and Flatt and Scruggs and Bill Monroe, and instilled in all of us a love for bluegrass that we carry on today. And we thank him for that, and he was a great man, and I miss him dearly. Thank you.
My stories about John relate to his exuberance for life also. The first time I've known John for about 6 months or so, and he never had work as far as I knew. And he told me he got him a job. He worked for Jim Cannon. And after a couple of months, I said, John, how you liking your new job? He said, why, hell, Tom, nobody works for fun. The only reason you work is so you can buy beer for the weekend. And all of my stories relate to his exuberance and his love for beer. One time my wife and I were at the Bluegrass Festival, John, and my wife says to John, you know the price of beer, a six-pack of beer has gone up too. I don't know how much it was, because this was about 20 years ago. And John said, well, you know, it's a good thing they don't charge its worth. And those are the kind of things I remember about John Elliot.
Hi, John and I had a lot of misadventures together over the years, and one thing it brings to mind that early this morning when I found this was going to occur, that I called him when my youngest boy, John Kirby, was going to be christened. And I said, John, will you come to Tuscaloosa and be godfather? And he said, a few words I won't repeat right now. And all of a sudden he got quiet, and he said, you're serious, aren't you? And I said, yes, I am. He said, that means I've got to come to church and get up and do all that and get dressed. And I said, yeah. So, entailed all that. And he said, I'd be honored. And he showed up with bells on and good friends. Thank you.
I'm Lenora Cannon. I'm John's sister. And I just wanted to thank all of John's bluegrass buddies for bringing back those memories tonight and the nice things they had to say. And I also want to say how glad I am that Claire Lynch, his buddy Claire Lynch, is here singing tonight. She's coming up next, and I heard her earlier today, and she sounds as great as ever. I especially want to thank George Devers for keeping the memory of John alive in this special way. It's very meaningful to my family, and bluegrass music was just the biggest facet of John's life. And if he's aware of what's going on today, right here tonight, I am sure that he is honored and tickled too. Thank you. Thank you, George.
He was a friend of mine. He was a friend of mine. He died without a penny. He didn't have a dime. He was a friend of mine.
Thank you, John. This afternoon.